Hello, and welcome back to the Quad Life. Well, today is February 16 of 2024. Well, that means that in 4 days is February 20. Yes, that means I can do math in my head. But what that day also means is that it is the anniversary of becoming, the Quad Life. That on that day, as a 3-year-old, my life changed forever, and it has been one that God has used in multiple ways. So I talked about my book a little bit, a few times on and off the last couple months. But since today we're talking about Quad Life and all the years I've been given, I thought I would read a couple points that are in here. And again, this book, Quad Life, is available on Amazon, and appreciate if you pick up a copy, but if not, that's perfectly fine as well. But growing up, it was a challenge, even to get to school. When I was injured, my doctor said that I should not live at home with my parents, that I need to be in a care facility, not attend regular school with other kids. But my parents fought to change both of those ideas, and I went home with them about 7 months after my injury. Went to regular school with all the rest of my classmates and graduated in the year 2000. So we're going to read a little bit here about after graduating from high school. Now, in the U.S., at least at that time, men had to sign up for the draft once they turned 18. Didn't matter if you could be in the military or not, you had to sign up. Well, today we get telemarketer calls for stuff that we don't know how in the world they get our phone number. Well, back then, after signing up for the draft, I kept getting calls from Army agents from different branches of the military. So I read about one of them that, I had fun with. So let's see. This is in chapter 13. Shortly after registering for the draft, I started getting calls from recruiters trying to get me to enlist in various military branches. I didn't want to explain my life history to every one of them, so I just simply said I wasn't interested. A week before another tour at college, Mom answered the phone to hear an Army recruiter that was asking for me. She brought the phone to my room, where Karen, my nurse, and I sat, and she held it to my ear. I wasn't doing anything productive, so I decided to let this recruiter go through his script. He asked what my plans were, and I answered, my plans are to go to college. The recruiter acknowledged it was good to go to school, but asked if I had considered serving in the military. So Sergeant Hopeful started by saying what I could do after basic training. Joel, would you like to improve your physical condition and get help paying for college? Well, yes, sir. I would love to improve my physical abilities. Yeah, I need it. Well, you'll be able to do at least 35 push-ups in less than 2 minutes and do a 2-mile run in under 15 minutes. With each item, I responded with, that sounds great. I would love to do that. Very much. Repeating the ability that he listed. As I replied with enthusiasm, Mom and Karen were doing all they could to not burst out with laughter. So imagine this. Recruiter, you could do a 2-mile run in under 15 minutes. Well, yes, I would love to do a 2-mile run in under 15 minutes. That's something I haven't done in a long time. So, after finishing his sales pitch, the recruiter asked if I would be interested in talking with him in person. I briefly thought about joining him for lunch somewhere to see the recruiter's reaction. However, the time he suggested to get together was the same day I was scheduled to be at school. I asked him, this all sounds great, but does it matter if I can't feel or control anything below my neck? It's a minor inconvenience. The very chatty sergeant went completely silent. Several seconds later, he came back with a less enthusiastic voice. What did you say you were planning to study in college? I replied with my declared major, accounting and PC. Sergeant Hopeful quietly replied that accounting was a good profession, but unfortunately, my disability disqualified me from serving in the military. I told him thank you, followed by goodbye, and Mom hung up. The stifled laughter now fully exploded in my room, and the three of us enjoyed the entertainment. So, I do know how to have fun with some people. I still wonder what that sergeant thought of after he hung up the phone with me, but, hopefully he had fun as well. But there are a lot of times that I have had where I didn't know what to expect for the future or even the next few hours. So it took over 2 years for me to get ready for college. And really, even with all that time, I didn't know until the last minute where I was going to go. So we are now at the end of chapter 13, which was a busy chapter. And I'm going to read just a little bit of what the experience was like. So I've just moved into my dorm, and I just moved my supplies up and said goodbye to my nurses here at home and moved up to college. And my dorm was basically an apartment. And I had my own kitchen and I'd be responsible for all that. So this is where I pick it up. And Dad and I had gone to the grocery store to pick up some items for my kitchen while Mom stayed back with the supervisor of my nursing agency. Dad and I soon returned with a supply of milk, eggs, bread, and other items to cook. As I bumped through the outside entrance in my open living area, I saw Mom crying and looking overwhelmed. The night nurse that had been hired to cover most of my hours decided that morning she didn't want to work with a vet-dependent person. She was now signing her resignation papers, and Kid Care was no longer sure if they could provide the nursing I needed. This was not the start to a new chapter in life we had planned. After more than 2 years of preparing for college, the next few hours would determine the course of my future. And that ends the chapter. So not everything went well, and if you've been following me for a bit, you know that there are still always different struggles that come up, and I never quite know what to expect. But God has brought me through a lot of them and brought me through everything up to this point. And, you know, I've had times in life too that I describe in here that, you know, I thought it'd be best if I would end the life that I had been given, and that it would relieve the burden that my parents had and really make life easier for everyone. And then going back to God and not and remembering to rely on Him no matter what, and then coming around and doing things like I do now, and preaching and being active and doing this video. So in 39 years, it has not been fun all the time, and I've seen a lot of people that have not been given nearly as many years that I have. And I only know 2 other quads that have had more injured years than me. One is 1 year above me, and the other is 4 years above me. We've never met, and I don't know that we ever will, but we at least can talk over Zoom sometimes. But that's what I had for today's update. That it's been another year in the quad life, or almost, by the time this video comes out at least. And yeah, it's been fun this past few months telling people about the book and letting them read it and see their reactions of everything over all the years. And I've had a lot of good feedback that people have really opened their eyes, and it's helped them to see things from a different perspective, and that's what I've liked to see and what I like hearing. So we'll see what God brings for this next year ahead, but I'll continue to bring you along, and remember to stay up to the end too with maybe some bloopers, and see what I put at the end of my videos, and tell me that you watched it too. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and bye. Anniversary of when the Quad Life Club started. So today I'm gonna sneeze.